Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. So, I don't know if you guys that are watching this want to be grossed out, but you probably want to be grossed out after I tell you what I'm about to read here in this Breitbart News article. Apparently, people are having a problem with holding their bowels. We're all adults here. This is just for adults. Because apparently, according to this article in Breitbart News that I'm about to read you guys, people are defecating in the lines at the Disney park theme parks. Yeah, you heard that right. They're defecating in these lines, I guess because the lines are so long that they just can't hold it in, so they decide to take a poop right there. Oh my God. Sounds like homeless people, or rather sounds like what homeless people do and what people do here on my job. Not just the homeless, but where I work at, people tend to do. But I'm going to get into the details of that. Let's get right into this skank situation right here. I mean, man, this is like insane in the brain. But as I read you this article, you're going to find out that this has actually been going on for quite some time. Yeah. So it says lines for key attractions at Disney theme parks have swelled to such long wait times that people have reportedly been defecating near where they stand. According to the New York Post, witnesses and theme park goers have been raising awareness. Okay, they probably having big, protests, they're protesting, joking. But yeah, whenever I see that phrase, raising awareness, what comes to my mind is protesting or march. We've had so many of them, right? Have been raising awareness about the issue on social media, which has allegedly been a problem at both Disneyland and Disney World for a decade. So this has been going on for quite some time. There's this one particular person said, someone let their kid take a dump on the floor and then they just walked out and left it. WTF. One poster wrote on Reddit, which was later cited by SF Gate. Lines for the rides like Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland can swell up to an hour and a half. And I get it. Those lines are really, really long. I get it. I get that. I get the long lines and so forth. But when I was going to theme parks, I never, I won't say theme parks, but amusement parks, rather, theme parks. But I never felt the need to do that, I'm going to give you all the details. Let's just go on. Because I definitely have something to say about this. This is insane to me. Another who claimed to work near the ride said on the platform, quote, for the skeptics, this actually happened. Fun fact. This was one of 3 SHIT-related incidents at rides today. Wow. Less fun fact. I was here for all 3 of them, this individual added. Another individual who worked there, who claimed to work at Disney World, also wrote, bodily fluids no longer bother me after working at Disney. Wow, really? Bothers me. Where I work at, it bothers me. But anyway, let's just say that the attraction I work at has what the cast ending up dubbing, quote, the poop hall. Because of the amount of times guests have gone in there and pooped, they wrote. Wow. We even put up a camera and it didn't stop it. Another person who claimed to have worked at the parks jumped in to say, quote, good Lord, the poop hallway gives me war flashbacks. Wow. I dealt with way too many bodily fluids at that dang attraction, they wrote. As noted by the Post back in 2015, 2 former Disney workers, quote, penned a book detailing their experiences as custodial team workers in the 1990s and early 2000s. So as I said, it's been going on for quite some time. Ken Pellman and Lynn Barham, the authors of Cleaning the Kingdom, Insider Tales of Keeping Walt's Dream Spotless, wrote that spotting human waste triggered a protocol known as, quote, Human Code H. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. A Code H, which stood for horse crap, called for one of the cleaners to pick up after one of the horses that was pulling a vehicle along Main Street went to the bathroom. Pellman and Barron recalled that eventually they started picking up human feces as well. So this stuff kind of mixed in, Both Disney World and Disneyland increased their prices last month amid the company's many financial woes. The park do have a policy where people can leave the lines to use the restroom while a worker holds the place. And that's the end of that article there. Yeah, I think that is gross. but mildly, and I'm going to reiterate that, but mildly entertaining, right? But yeah. First things first. As I said, this thing has been going on for quite some time at these Disney theme parks. But here's my thought on the whole idea of standing in line. As I said earlier in the introduction to the video, I can understand. I used to go when I was young teenager and so forth, and even younger than that. And my mom them used to take us to Geauga Lake and other, and I think Cedar Point with Cedar Point once. And those lines were like incredibly long. I mean, like super long, dude. Like, wow, you know. But I never had the unction, even at that age, to take a crap right there or take a pee right. I never had that unction. And as long as I have been going to the amusement parks during the time that I was going to the amusement parks, okay, and this is way back, you know, back in like the 80s and so forth, even before then, I don't ever remember anyone taking giant poops or urinating in line because the lines are so long. Now, according to that article, it says that sometimes you can wait till an hour and a half. Well, that's sometimes the same situation with some of those other rides. Been 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. So, you know, take a few minutes. It's still a long time to be waiting in line. But my thing is this. If a person that's going to get in this line feels that they have to use the bathroom, it probably would be a better idea, or rather a good idea, to use the bathroom, take a dump or take a leak first before you stand in line. You might have to stand in line for a long time, and it's all good. But at least your bowels won't be like, and your stomach won't be bubbling, and you won't be doing all this and twisting your legs and carrying on because you have to take a leak. It's probably best that you do that before you get in line. What this shows me is just there is a decay in the human society as a whole. They don't care what they do anymore. And even though that article says that this has been going on for a decade or so, the degeneration of our society took place in the 60s in the counterculture revolution. After the counterculture revolution, on a moral basis, this country has gone. All morals, cleanliness, and everything went out the door with the counterculture revolution. I'm sorry to bash people who were born during that time that may be watching this video, but I could go all day. I could get into the vivid details of the counterculture of the 1960s. I could go all the way, and I could talk about the LSD and mind control and all the other stuff, but I ain't going to get to that in this video. I would just say this, that the degeneration of our society on the moral basis, in terms of morality and just cleanliness to some extent, okay, went out the door during the 1960s counterculture revolution, okay? So I'm feeling that this whole idea of taking a dump right there in the freaking line because you can't hold it in comes from this, in part, comes from this attitude of, man, look, I don't care. You guys don't care. I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and blah right here, you know, whatever. I see this all the time on my job. And I said I was going to get to that. I see this quite often on my job where I work at. Well, obviously, it's my job I work at. The bathrooms inside Tower City closes during the weekday at 7 o'clock in the evening, unless there's a game. Unless the Browns game, or the Browns is playing and playing in the city, or they want to have to play in the games here in the city of Cleveland, or the Cavaliers are playing here or whatever. You got thousands and thousands of people going through Tower City, and oftentimes we're asked, is the bathroom open or whatever? And usually the bathroom during the games will stay open till about 10. But for the most part, when there's no games, no special events, it will close at 7. So sometimes people will come in and say, where's the bathroom? Whether it's the bathroom open, no bathroom. I have to say, unfortunately, it's not. You will have to go either across the street, where on Public Square, there's a bathroom right on the side of the Rebel Restaurant. It's not their bathroom. It's the bathroom, but it's attached to Rebel Restaurant. And you just go inside that bathroom. You just knock on the door, of course, and go inside there. I tell people that in that bathroom usually stays open till about 10 o'clock at night. And but it seems like people just ignore that. They'll take a dump in the bus shed. And it's not just homeless people, it's just people in general. They'll take a dump or they'll take a leak inside Tower City because they said they couldn't hold it. I've heard of situations where people that look sane, look professional, and look sane, look like they're professional people, took a dump inside Tower City or took a leak inside because they couldn't hold it. And it's like, well, man, my goodness, I get it. You couldn't hold it, but my goodness, couldn't you have, wherever you was at before you left, couldn't you have decided to say, hey, you know what? Maybe it might not be a bathroom open at Tower City. Maybe it might not be a bathroom open at this place, but wherever that person was at, I would only make the assumption that they had to have had a bathroom there. You can find a bathroom somewhere else. Or, you know what I mean? It's just, come on, man. To me, it's just, as I said earlier, the moral breakdown of our society. I think that adds to this whole idea of taking a dump in the line because you waiting in the line. So just take the dump or the leak before you get in line, boo-boo. If you feel your stomach bubbling, err on the side of safety. Just go find a bathroom and do your thing. Now, the article says that if a person is standing in the line for a long period of time, the end of the article does say that, you know, a worker will come and take their place. That's cool. I get it. But I'm going to assume that that's not going to always be practical, you know. Unless they just hire a group of workers and say, okay, workers, you're going to take the place of people who need to take a dump or a leak in line. So that's your purpose. Your purpose, I'm just imagining, you got a whole bunch of like 30 or 40 different workers, maybe a little bit more, standing over on the side, and people that standing in line waiting to get on a ride or waiting to get whatever. It's like, man, what are all these people standing there for? They're not in line. They're just standing there. They have the attire of Disneyland and Disney World on them, but they're just standing there. What are they doing it for? Oh, we're here in case you need to take a dump or take a leak. We just take your place in line and hold it for you. You know, that's what we're here for. I'm just using my imagination. You know, I'm just using my imagination. You know, perhaps that's maybe the way it is. Okay, I get that, and that makes sense. But still, you know, it's just a moral breakdown. And let me say this in the end of this video here. In terms of Disneyland and Disney World, whatever, and their prices going up because of the financial woes that they've been dealing with. Why? The question is why they're dealing with these financial woes. Because they have decided to become super woke. I've did several videos on this. They've decided to become super woke. I think it's the CEO who decided that he's going to push transgenderism in the movies and in the TV movies, everything Disney going to push transgenderism on these young. And I'm talking about, I'm talking about promoting this towards young people. This person, his CEO is adamant about this. He's adamant. He's going to stand. And so he's been facing all kinds of hell from Governor DeSantis about it. Governor DeSantis put the spanking on him about that. Okay. But he's going to push it anyway. Well, let me say this. Maybe perhaps you deserve for someone to take a dump in your theme parks because that's what you are, a big dumpster fire, okay? Metaphorically, symbolically speaking, you could say that these people taking a dump here, whether they realize it or not, in line while they stand in the line waiting to get on this ride, it's a metaphor or a symbol of how much or how nasty Disney has become. So why not take a big dump right in the line? Because that's what they have become, a big dump. Disney has become a big toilet bowl. And people are just taking a big dump right there in that toilet bowl called Disney. It is not the Disney that I grew up with Daffy, with Donald Duck, Donald Duck and all them, and Mickey Mouse and all them. It is not the Walt Disney I grew up with. Now, people have argued and said, well, you know, Walt Disney and all that have always had, esoteric imagery in it in the cartoon and so forth. And they did. I've seen videos on that. But at least it was hidden. It wasn't in your face. I still disagree with it, but it wasn't in your face. Now it's just in your face. We're going to push transgenderism. We're going to push all this nasty stuff on these kids. And we don't care what anybody else says. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to push this nasty, overt sexual provocation on our children. And so you know what? In a metaphoric way, in an allegorical way, in a symbolic way, go ahead, people, and take that dump. Take that dump on Walt Disney. That's what you do. It's a metaphor for taking a dump on the company, on the theme parks. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion, but you guys call it what you want. But that's what I think. I think this. What do you guys think? I think this is disgusting what they're doing. You could find some other way. You know, go to the bathroom before you decide to stand in a line when you know 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have to wait for 5 million years. Why don't you just do that before you get in the line? But that's what I had to say about that. What do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you all again.